It was a quiet night in the village of Kayaba, nestled deep in the Anatolian mountains, when the sky turned blood red. No one saw where the light came from. It pulsed silently, steadily, above the pine-covered peaks, casting an eerie hue over the valley. Dogs barked wildly, chickens scattered in their coops, and the old radio in Mukhtar Hassan's house turned on by itself, playing a static-filled voice that no one could understand. Hassan, the village headman, stood frozen at his window. He wasn't a man easily shaken, but this light, it wasn't natural. He grabbed his shotgun and flashlight, then stepped out into the cold night. The wind was still, yet the trees swayed. The light flickered once more, then vanished. But something else replaced it, a low, vibrating hum that seemed to come from under the ground. That same night, young Elif and her brother Karam had been camping by the lake a kilometer away. They saw the red light too, and when it vanished, the stars seemed to disappear with it. Karam tried to joke, but Elif knew something was deeply wrong. Their fire went out without wind, their phones dead. Then came a noise, not an animal, not human, a clicking, metallic, deliberate. The next morning, Elif returned to the village alone, her face pale and scratched. She couldn't speak. Her brother was gone. People tried to question her, but all she did was draw strange symbols in the dirt with her fingers circular, intersecting patterns that no one recognized. The village imam paled when he saw them and locked the mosque without explanation. That night, several villagers dreamed of the same thing, a tall, thin figure standing in the woods, its face blank, its limbs unnaturally long. It called them in a voice that echoed inside their heads. Some awoke screaming, noses bleeding. Others walked in their sleep into the forest, never to return. Hassan organized a search party. They found nothing but strange footprints and a faint smell of burning metal. With each passing night, the village lost more people. Children whispered of lights in the sky and voices from the wells. One boy claimed his reflection, smiled at him before he did. Hassan, desperate, contacted a professor from Ankara who specialized in unexplained phenomena. The man arrived the next day, curious and skeptical, until he saw the symbols and heard the hum himself.
In Kayaba, the sky suddenly turned blood red. The light was silent, but everything began to change. Hassan grabbed his shotgun and stepped outside. The earth whispered that something beneath was alive. By the lake, the children vanished under a starless sky. Metallic clicks echoed from the dark. Elif returned alone, silent. She drew strange symbols in the dirt. The villagers woke from the same nightmare. Some walked into the forest and never came back. A professor arrived, but it was too late. Because now, whatever was beneath was no longer asleep.
The professor set up equipment in the mosque, now emptied of all religious items. Seismographs, frequency analyzers, infrared sensors, they all reacted to something. The ground under the village wasn't just rock, there was a chamber. And from that chamber, movement. That night, the hum became a scream. Not heard, felt. The earth trembled, animals went mad. People locked themselves inside, praying. The professor, Hassan, and a few brave men traced the vibrations to a cave outside the village. What they found inside was not made by humans. Metal walls, smooth and cold, symbols glowing faintly. And in the center something, waking up. Elif, still silent, was found outside the cave. Her eyes were black. She pointed inside and finally spoke. "It's listening now." Then she collapsed. The professor screamed. His instruments recorded frequencies unknown to man. And above them, the red light returned, but this time, it came down. Panic swept the village. Phones didn't work. Cars wouldn't start. The red light hovered like a second Sunday. Then the sky opened, not clouds, but space itself tore. A massive craft, silent and black, emerged. Its surface shifted like liquid, and thousands of eyes seemed to blink from it. The ship spoke, not with words but with thought. Everyone heard it. Not a greeting, a warning, a reckoning. The professor dropped to his knees, weeping. Hassan stood with his shotgun but knew it meant nothing. The children cried as the light touched their skin. It was cold. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, the light disappeared. The sky turned normal, the ship gone, but the silence was wrong deeper than silence. Those who had been touched never spoke again. Elif woke up, smiled, and whispered, "We were never alone. Now they know. We know." And then she looked up. The stars were gone.
Kayaba went silent. But the silence was more terrifying than anything. Now they know, and they will return. Maybe they already have.